During preseason testing, Ted Kravitz noticed something unusual about Ferrari's setup on Lewis Hamilton's SF25. It wasn't just any data gathering tool, which is something all teams use, but rather a highly specialized aerodynamic probe. This raised eyebrows because Kravitz, who has seen decades of F1 drama, knew this wasn't ordinary. Ferrari seemed to be making changes specifically for Hamilton, adapting the car to his driving style rather than forcing him to fit into an existing system, and that alone is a major shift in approach. When drivers join a new team, they usually spend the first season adjusting to the car's handling, strengths, and weaknesses. Rarely does a team go out of its way to change its car for a new driver from the very start. But Ferrari appear to be skipping the adjustment phase, fast-tracking Hamilton's influence on the SF25. The aerodynamic probe was likely gathering crucial airflow data to fine-tune the car's balance, something Hamilton has emphasized in recent years. One of Ferrari's biggest issues in 2023 was their car's instability on corner exits. If this new setup helps improve that, it directly benefits Hamilton, who thrives in cars with strong rear stability. Early feedback suggested that the SF25 responded more aggressively to driver input than its predecessor, meaning Ferrari wasn't just tweaking minor details. It was making fundamental changes, and this signaled something important. Ferrari was not treating Hamilton as just another driver, but as the key to their future success. During the second morning of preseason testing, Hamilton topped the timesheets with a lap of 1 minute, 29.379 seconds. That was 0.6 of a second faster than Ferrari's best time on the same day in the previous year. While testing times don't always reflect real race pace, this wasn't just about numbers. The fact that Hamilton set that time in a brand new car on a slightly damp track within just 48 hours of stepping into it sent a clear message to the rest of the grid. He wasn't there to adapt slowly. He was there to make an immediate impact. Ted Kravitz, who rarely makes exaggerated claims, had a different tone during testing. His analysis carried urgency, as if he was seeing something significant unfold. He wasn't just impressed by Hamilton's speed. He seemed to recognize a potential power shift. This wasn't just about Ferrari having a good car. It was about how quickly Hamilton was making it his own. Many experts expected Hamilton to take some time to settle in at Ferrari. After all, he had spent over a decade at Mercedes, driving cars built specifically for his style, but the way he was already shaping the SF25 suggested otherwise. Ferrari seemed to be giving him full control over the car's development, something that rarely happens so early in a driver's time with a new team. The impact of this could be massive. If Ferrari's approach allows Hamilton to extract peak performance right from the start of the season, it could disrupt the entire F1 landscape. Hamilton has been in this situation before. Back in 2013, when he left McLaren for Mercedes, critics called it a mistake. At the time, Mercedes was not a championship contending team, and many believed he was throwing away his career. But just 1 year later, he was celebrating his second world title, marking the beginning of one of the most dominant eras in F1 history. In 2016, he faced his toughest title battle against Nico Rosberg. After losing the championship by just 5 points, people started questioning whether Hamilton had been exposed, whether his best days were behind him. But instead of fading away, he came back stronger, winning multiple championships and breaking records along the way. Now, as he joins Ferrari, many are wondering if he can do it again. Can he take a team that hasn't won a title in over 15 years and turn them into champions? Early signs suggest that Ferrari is fully backing him to do just that. By tailoring the SF25 to his driving style, they are giving him the best possible chance to succeed. If Hamilton's already comfortable in the car during testing, what happens when he gets even more track time? What happens when he starts fine-tuning every small detail with Ferrari's engineers? If history is anything to go by, the rest of the grid should be worried. Hamilton's ability to push a team forward is unmatched. When he joined Mercedes, they were competitive but inconsistent. By the time he left, they had won 8 consecutive constructors' titles. Now, Ferrari seems to be giving him the tools to do the same for them. The preseason testing results showed that Ferrari is not hiding their potential. Usually teams keep their true pace under wraps, focusing on reliability rather than speed. But Ferrari and Hamilton didn't play that game. They made a statement early on, and the numbers backed it up. One key factor to watch this season will be how Ferrari's development continues. If they keep refining the SF25 in a way that suits Hamilton's strengths, he could find himself in a position to challenge for the title sooner than expected. Red Bull and Max Verstappen have been dominant in recent years, but Hamilton has shown before that he can overturn expectations. Ferrari fans have been waiting for a championship for far too long. Since Kimi Räikkönen's title win in 2007, they have come close a few times, but never managed to go all the way. If Hamilton and Ferrari continue to build on this early momentum, 2025 could finally be the year that changes. One of the biggest advantages Hamilton brings to Ferrari is his experience in long-term development. He knows how to guide a team, how to push engineers in the right direction, and how to extract the best from those around him. This is something Ferrari has lacked in recent years. While they have had talented drivers, they haven't had someone who can shape the entire philosophy of the team in the way Hamilton can. Another interesting element to watch is the dynamic between Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Ferrari now has 2 of the most talented drivers on the grid, and if they work together effectively, they could create a formidable force. When Hamilton joined Mercedes in 2013, people doubted him. Mercedes wasn't a championship-winning team at the time. Red Bull was at the top with Sebastian Vettel winning 4 straight titles. Many thought Hamilton had made a mistake. What followed was pure domination. 6 titles with Mercedes, over 80 wins, and a legacy that cemented him as one of the greatest drivers in history. Now, over a decade later, history seems to be repeating itself. Red Bull is dominant once again, just like in the early 2010s. Ferrari, like Mercedes back then, is seen as an outsider, always competitive, but never quite strong enough to take the title. But what if this is exactly like 2014? Ferrari has had speed in recent years, but they have never been able to put together a complete season. In 2017, Sebastian Vettel fought for the championship, but Ferrari's reliability issues cost him dearly. In 2018, they were in the title fight again, but mistakes from both Vettel and the team saw their hopes fade. Then came 2022, a season where Ferrari arguably had the fastest car early on, but once again, strategy errors and reliability problems let Red Bull and Max Verstappen take control. This is where Hamilton comes in. Unlike previous Ferrari drivers, he brings experience, consistency, and a winning mentality. He knows how to fight for titles over a full season, and he thrives in a structured environment. The biggest challenge for Ferrari isn't speed. It's their ability to execute under pressure. The early signs are promising. In preseason testing, Hamilton has already shown strong pace in the SF25. Testing times don't always tell the full story, but they do give us an idea of potential. More importantly, Hamilton's confidence in the car is growing quickly. If Ferrari has truly built a title-contending car, then we might be looking at the most exciting season in years. For the past few seasons, Max Verstappen and Red Bull have dominated Formula One. The RB19 and RB20 were practically unbeatable, leaving teams like Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren fighting for scraps. Verstappen himself has been in a league of his own, breaking records and cruising to victories with ease. But now, for the first time in a while, he might have serious competition. Now, as always, we would love to hear your thoughts on this, so make sure you write them down right now. And while you're down there, don't forget to click that subscribe button as well.